Welcome to Spooky Stories, where spine-chilling tales await. Before you dive into the darkness, hit that like button to help me bring even more terrifying stories your way, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a scare. Now, sit back, relax, and prepare to be terrified. Enjoy. Dark Web Horror Stories. Story 1. The Unseen Buyer. My curiosity about the dark web began when a friend shared a video about its hidden corners. After some research, I decided to explore it myself. I used a VPN and found myself on a forum filled with bizarre listings and cryptic messages. Among the many offers, one caught my eye: the unseen buyer. The description promised an immersive, interactive experience that would push your limits. For a steep price, I could pay to watch someone live their life for an hour and send them instructions to follow. Despite the warnings about the dark web, I felt a thrill of excitement. It was just an experience, right? I contemplated it for several days, debating whether it was ethical or safe. In a moment of impulsiveness, I purchased it, my heart racing as I made the payment. A confirmation email arrived, along with a link to the live stream. I could hardly believe I was about to witness something so forbidden. The stream started at midnight. A young woman sat in her dimly lit apartment, fidgeting nervously as she glanced at her phone. I felt a pang of guilt as I realized I was about to treat someone like a puppet for my entertainment. I typed in my first instruction: open the door. As soon as I sent it, the chat exploded with messages from other buyers, all eager to see her react. Some suggested more sinister actions, but I hesitated, feeling a knot in my stomach. After a few minutes of waiting, she stood up, the camera following her shaky movements. My heart raced as she approached the door. When she finally opened it, a shadowy figure stood just outside, and the feed abruptly cut out. I sat in stunned silence, a cold chill creeping up my spine. Panic set in as I frantically refreshed the page, but the stream was gone. I never found the site again, and to this day, I can't shake the feeling that she was in real danger. The guilt haunts me. What if my curiosity cost someone their safety? Story 2. The Custom Doll. The rumors about a dark website selling custom-made dolls intrigued me. The concept was bizarre yet fascinating. You could order a doll that looked exactly like someone you knew, complete with hair, clothes, and even accessories. It felt like a twisted novelty gift, and I thought it could be a funny surprise for my ex-girlfriend, who had recently moved across the country. Little did I know how wrong I was. After a few weeks of contemplation, I decided to go through with it. I placed an order for a doll resembling her, ensuring that it captured her likeness as closely as possible. The site promised delivery within 2 weeks. I imagined her reaction: laughter, maybe even a little confusion. When the package finally arrived, I was surprised at how heavy it felt. I tore it open, revealing a doll that was unsettlingly lifelike. It had the same hair color, facial features, and even smelled faintly of her perfume. I brushed off the coincidence, thinking it was just a marketing ploy. But then strange things started happening. I received a series of odd messages from her, asking how I got the doll. She claimed she felt an intense chill every time she thought about me. I shrugged it off, but deep down, I felt something was off. One night, I woke up to find the doll sitting at the foot of my bed, its eyes seemingly following me. I dismissed it as a nightmare and shoved the doll back into its box. But the next morning, I found it placed on my nightstand, its gaze fixed on me. I felt a creeping dread as I realized I had to get rid of it. I returned to the site to find it had vanished. The more I searched, the more it felt like a fever dream. I tried contacting her to warn her, but she never replied. Days turned into weeks, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I had unleashed something sinister. I ended up throwing the doll away, but even now, I sometimes catch glimpses of something in the corner of my eye, as if the doll is still watching. Story 3. The Chatroom of Secrets. My fascination with the dark web had always been a guilty pleasure. I had heard stories of hidden chat rooms filled with secrets and confessions. One night, after doing some digging, I stumbled upon a private chat room called the Chatroom of Secrets. The entry was tightly controlled, requiring an invite from a current member, which I had miraculously obtained from a friend who had visited before. I entered the chat with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The atmosphere was thick with tension, and I could feel the weight of unspoken fears in the virtual air. Members shared their deepest secrets and darkest thoughts, discussing taboo topics that made my skin crawl. At first, it felt like a safe haven, but as the hours passed, the conversations grew increasingly disturbing. They began to share their latest projects, which were essentially disturbing videos of missing persons, each accompanied by chilling commentary. One member shared a link, claiming it revealed a connection between various disappearances. I felt a growing sense of unease as the chat grew darker. Suddenly, I received a private message from someone named the Seer. Their message chilled me: "You're being watched. If you leave, you will regret it." My heart raced as I scanned the chat, trying to pinpoint who might be watching me. I hesitated but felt an overwhelming urge to disconnect. Against my better judgment, I clicked on one of the shared video links. The video began to play, showing a person bound and blindfolded, whispering their secrets into the camera. My stomach twisted in knots as I felt an unsettling connection to what I was witnessing. Suddenly, my computer froze, the screen becoming unresponsive. Panic surged through me as I realized I couldn't shut it down. I heard a soft voice behind me, whispering, "Now you're part of the secret." I spun around, but there was no one there. My heart raced as I quickly logged off, shutting down my computer and unplugging it. Since that night, I've lived in fear. I rarely use my devices anymore, feeling as though someone is always watching me. Every creak in my home sends shivers down my spine, and I can't shake the feeling that I unknowingly signed up for something far more sinister than I ever imagined. The dark web had promised secrets, but what I found was terror that still haunts me.